According to an explosive confession from Sean Diddy Combs' former cell block mate, the music mogul wasn't sweating his trial because he knew he was protected. Not by luck, not by lawyers, but by the very system that came to prosecute him. Diddy, it turns out, has been doing the Fed's bidding for years, running operations, gathering dirt, playing puppet master behind the velvet curtain of fame. And in return, they kept him safe. From Barack Obama to James Comey, the power players lined up to protect their assets. Even Comey's own daughter, yes, the same one who oversaw the miscarriage of justice that was the Epstein case, was installed to control the outcome. The fix was in, because Diddy knows too much. Now, for the first time, we've obtained a leaked recording straight from inside Manhattan's most secure prison. A first-hand account that blows this conspiracy wide open. What's on the tape? Let's just say it's the kind of truth people die trying to tell. But before we dive in, a quick word about our partner VP.net, the next generation of private browsing. VP.net is the only VPN designed with true zero logging architecture. That means, unlike other VPNs, it literally can't track you. So even if governments or bad actors come knocking, there's nothing to hand over. It's that simple. Your data stays yours, period.
Bit of a commotion outside the courthouse. Sean Combs' mother just returned here. She walked in just a second ago, said she is feeling good because her son was acquitted of the most serious charges that he faced, sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. He seemed confident, telling his family after the verdict was read, "I'm coming home, baby."
Combs wasn't the only one celebrating the sentence. His supporters were outside the courtroom, drenched in baby oil, dancing like it was a victory parade, not a trial. We told you back in 2024, the Diddy trial was a show trial, a high-budget illusion dressed up as justice. And the truth was obvious if you knew where to look, starting with the key personnel they picked to run the game. Since stepping into the role of US Attorney for the Southern District of New York in June 2021, Andre Damian Williams Jr. has become the government's go-to handler for sensitive, high-profile cases, the ones that raise more questions than answers. Take the Jeffrey Epstein saga. Under Williams' watch, a grand jury indicted Ghislaine Maxwell on a single count of child trafficking, with no clients named. That's right, officially, Maxwell trafficked minors to nobody. By that time, federal prosecutors, including Williams, were aware of over 30 underage victims. Girls who had been abused by multiple perpetrators and recruited by multiple procurers. But somehow the system tied it all up with a bow, blaming just one woman, allowing Epstein to escape justice and protecting every VIP pedophile in the shadows. Sound familiar?
Times reporting here, caller from inside the courtroom. Sean Combs is smiling as he shook one of his lawyer's hands and turned again to look at his family. He put his hands together in prayer and mouthed, thank you at the jury. That's the right thing to say, Sean Combs. He pumped his right fist. Yep, this is exactly the right attitude for Sean Combs, who just got away with serious felonies, in my view. He's guilty as sin.
Diddy should have been blowing kisses to Maureen Comey, daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, who was handpicked to oversee the prosecution. This isn't her first time running cover for the elite. Maureen was deeply involved in the Epstein case. In fact, in 2023, she personally filed a motion requesting that a judge keep Epstein's top secret client list sealed, protecting the names of powerful men who exploited children, and keeping the public permanently in the dark.
You have this entire blackmail extortion ring. They went and raided Diddy's house. There were cameras there. We know that it involves, the higher ups in the entertainment industry, if not the world of politics as well. And this entire prosecution is reduced to P. Diddy and what we know of his abuse of Cassie and potentially Jane. And then once you flesh out the fact that for whatever the reason, Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter, is still involved as one of this trial. This trial is a show trial. Because they're going to get him on something. It might just be the, trafficking for prostitution purposes, which seems undeniable. Send him away for 10 years. Maybe he gets out after 8. And then you've successfully covered up the entire extortion ring that P. Diddy was running, much like what they did with Epstein.
Oh, that's very interesting.
It's the same playbook, different VIP blackmailer. And everybody on the inside knows the truth about who is protecting Diddy. As Death Row Records co-founder Suge Knight says, Diddy has been working with the FBI his whole career, and has blackmail material on some of the most powerful people in America, including former President Barack Obama.
Okay, good. Look. Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby. He used to work for Interscope. This guy's job was to bring underage girls and have sex with employees and other artists, to the point where his friend got caught up with the same thing, how they rated Puffy House and sex trafficking.
Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance, that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality, to time, versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time, and we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy, so he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he been involved with the FBI and most of his career. He got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out.
That's right. Barack Obama, while still in the White House in 2013, intervened to keep Diddy out of prison. During the trial, David James, Diddy's former personal assistant, testified under oath that President Obama routinely met a man believed to be Diddy's personal drug courier. Let that sink in. The sitting president of the United States was allegedly meeting with someone tied directly to an illegal operation, and nobody in the mainstream media batted an eye. Even when the court heard that Diddy hosted parties to celebrate his friend Barack Obama and took ecstasy pills shaped like the former president. Just like when Jeffrey Epstein's mansion was found to contain bizarre paintings of US presidents, mocking humiliation depictions meant to signal just how compromised they were. There was no follow-up, no investigation, just an eerie silence from the media and the political class. As if everybody already knew and nobody dared to say a word. Why? Because when you're useful to the system, they protect you, no matter how deep the dirt goes.
He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he's probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. My artist, one of the worst mistakes I could have made was protecting my artist is doing a deal at Interscope. When my artists used to pull up in valet, the Murdoch building, they'd get out, they'd smell like weed. When they clothes smell like weed. When they made it to any office, it would smell like weed. Those guys, for my artists, they introduced cocaine to my artists. So once they got on cocaine, once they got on drugs, once they got on alcohol, and that's when the weird stuff happened. And I think that's what took Puffy down that lane. Then you got to remember, Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell.
Simon, come on.
You better believe it. Alcohol, drugs. He compromised his manhood. Because he was taught that. He got Usher as a kid. They never recorded no songs, but alcohol, drugs,
Simon.
sex. Justin Bieber. And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they're doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
It's all about control, and they'll do whatever it takes to keep their hands on the levers of power and the truth buried in the dark. But coming up after the break, everything changes. We'll hear from a former cell blockmate of Diddy, a whistleblower ready to expose what really went down behind bars. According to him, everybody in the inside, including Sam Bankman-Fried, knew exactly why Diddy walks away untouched. Because when you've got ties to Barack Obama, the rules don't apply. The system protects its own. Today's sponsor is pillsforever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. Under Biden, the price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with pillsforever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this testimony of Joe Tippins, a cancer survivor thanks to fenbendazole.
2 years ago, Joe Tippin says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippin says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine. Specifically, fenbendazole.
My insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkouts. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer.